Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Professor Layton and the Unwound Future. Previously, Layton's rescuer turns out to be a woman by the name of Celeste, who is also investigating Dimitri. Layton is attempting to learn more when the family catches up with the group. In order to escape, Celeste and Don Paolo separate from the group and run ahead. Before leaving, Celeste drops a hint to the professor regarding where they will meet next. Decoding her hint, Layton and the others set out for the riverside restaurant, the Thames Arms. Yes, I think we're due for... Oh, thank you, Pluke. I think we're due for some very interesting scenes. We're in Chapter 12, entitled The Truth Revealed. And all players in this game of wits will be assembled in this restaurant once we click that door. And I am suspecting that Layton is about to unmask future Luke. I don't know who future Luke truly is, what his motivations are, but I feel like we're about to learn. I've had my suspicions about that dude since the start, and I think we're due for some answers. Let's get in there. Oh, hey. There's Don Paolo just chilling around. Hey, buddy. You sure took your sweet time getting here, Layton. I thought you might have gotten lost. Come on, Paul. Surely you haven't been waiting that long, have you? Well, I did go 10 years in the past and look around everywhere. I clicked on every little nook and cranny of this entire city, so it's understandable. Hello there. We were in the neighborhood and thought we'd drop by again. Welcome back to the Thames Arms, sir. Did you ever find the gentleman you were looking for? Yes, thanks to your help. I'm glad to hear you found him. Is it suspicious that this barkeep has no name and is wearing very, very dark sunglasses? Could this be someone in disguise? I'm paranoid. Anyway. Oh, I'm so relieved you all made it out all right. I couldn't very well let myself get caught before hearing about that secret you mentioned. Something tells me you've already figured out much of it for yourself, am I right? Huh? Professor, is it true? Layton, if you know something, spit it out. All concerned parties seem to be in attendance, so I'll try to explain things as best I can. Oh, here we go.
It's taken time, but I believe I've finally made sense of the bizarre events we've witnessed here.
You've worked it all out?
For the most part.
Come on then, out with it!
Yes, of course. I have much to say about this city and its secrets. The London we are presently in, this London of the future, is a fake.
I'm glad we agree on that.
More precisely, it's a set designed to make us believe that we've traveled 10 years into the future.
Yeah, I'm with you so far, buddy.
Because, you see, there is no time machine. Not here, not anywhere.
What?
We were all led to believe that the clock shop was a portal to the future. But the truth about that shop is in some ways just as bewildering. The back room of the clock shop is no time machine. It's a lift moving down into the earth.
I knew it! I called it! I called it, didn't I? I called it! Oh! We're friggin' underground! Oh man, like right when we first got to quote-unquote future London, I clicked on the tower in the background and it said, oh, the air is so still here, and I was like, oh, are we underground? Was that clock shop actually a lift going down and up? I think I actually nailed it. Oh my gosh.
say? We're underground right now? Precisely. You may have heard of subterranean caverns, as some of them house ancient ruins. Some experts theorize that these caverns pepper the entire Earth. What I've seen here leads me to conclude that Dmitri used one such cavern to build this false London.
Okay. Now, I'm not expecting answers in regards to this, but how? This is an entire civilization. London is one of the largest cities on Earth, isn't it? How? How? You need, like, it's the sheer manpower and resources involved, not to mention the transportation of all such materials. How could Layton live in London for, I am guessing, his entire life and not hear one single peep about an entire metropolis being built underground beneath his feet? Like, that elevator, the clock shop elevator, that is vertical. It goes straight up and down. It's literally underneath everyone's feet on Surface London. And speaking of, how's the sky here work? It doesn't remotely look like we're in a cave, but we are.
It's as if we're standing in the largest film set ever created.
What? I can hardly believe it.
So Dmitri is behind all this then? But why? That question stumped me as well. Why would he go to such pains to make us believe we're in the future? It doesn't make sense, unless convincing people of this is the key to achieving his ultimate goal.
What kind of goal requires a setup like that?
It's simple. It seems that Dmitri never gave up his original dream of building a time machine. But though he poured all his energy into achieving this feat, the task was too large for one man. He needed other scientists to support his project, so he turned to the greatest minds in London. But to keep the scientists working for him, they needed to believe that they were in the future.
Why?
Think about it, Luke. Dmitri couldn't imprison the scientists, not in the conventional sense. After all, who knows what kind of work they would produce under those circumstances? No, Dmitri needed a different approach to compel the scientists to complete his research.
Yeah, get them to think that they were working to save themselves.
The scientists had to want the time machine to work as much as Dmitri did. So he told them that they had been shot forward 10 years in time, stranded a decade from home. Dmitri misled the scientists, telling them that the time machine was an unfinished project. They thought they were stranded, and that the machine was their only hope of returning home.
Ah, so that's why they were so willing to follow orders.
That's all I've been able to work out. Perhaps our friend here can fill us in on the rest.
I see you've caught on. Excellent work as always, Hershel.
You know, his hair color is the same as Dmitri.
The family uses this establishment as a hideout. Therefore, it seemed a bit odd that the bartender didn't so much as raise an eyebrow when we walked in.
I have to give credit where it's due. I never imagined you'd work out so much of the plan yourself. I suppose I've no choice but to shut you up for good.
Oh, the whole story. Wait. Are we going to get the whole story stamp on all of these? Future London turns out to be a fake city built in an underground cavern beneath the real London. Dmitri led his team of scientists to believe that they were trapped in the future so that they would put every effort into completing a functioning time machine. Okay. Oh, so okay, it was Dmitri. I guess he took off all his disguise clothes while we were in that menu. Dimitri Allen, you've been watching us the whole time. I wish to issue a challenge to the professor. Bumbling lawmen have no part in this conversation. Bumbling? I'll show you bumbling. It would be wise for you to all stay right where you are. You see, I've laced this restaurant with enough explosives to level the place. Really? Are you out of your mind? We'll all die, even you. Oh, no. I'm going to walk out of this place unharmed. You see, by pressing this switch here, I've activated a series of sensors embedded in the floor. The sensors don't respond to my movement, but they'll trigger the charge the second you touch one. This place is a minefield! I see you're catching on. Now I'm going to stroll out that door and leave the lot of you behind. Stay as long as you like, just remember that when you decide to leave, you seal your fate. It would seem that you've bested me, but Dimitri, there is no challenge to be had here. Not exactly, Professor. This piece of paper contains the location of every sensor in the room. All you need to do is know how to find them. Well, I suppose this makes it more of a fair contest. Tap the squares with the sensors. The red dots are persons, and the brown squares are tables. Okay. Find all the sensors. The numbers written above and to the left of the map indicate the number of sensors present in each column and row, respectively. Derive the location of all sensors using the information provided and mark them on your map. Okay, it's per cross. Alright. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it's 5 by, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7 by 5. Now, that's a mine. These are all 5s. There's a mine in all these squares, so we can start with that, and these two. Now, this row and this row both have 3. So this row and this row are solved, as are these 3 columns we've just marked. There are no... there are no mines in this column, meaning the 4th one in this row cannot go here or here. This is also 0, meaning it must go here. Alright. There are 3 in this column. I see. Aha. So this bottom row rather has 4 mines in it. That's solved. That's a table. That's a person solved. Person solved. Therefore, the 3rd mine must go here. Now we're looking for a 3rd mine that goes here. It can't go here, so it has to go here as a process of elimination. Now we've solved 4 mines in this row, but there's 5 total, so it must go here in this last available spot. Let's see. 3, yes. 4, correct. 3, correct. 4, that's all laid out. Now, columns. 3, yes. 5, yes. 0, correct. 5, yes. 0, correct. 1, correct. 5, correct. I have solved it, I believe. It's just a matter of elimination. Yeah, I'm so nervous. I'm yet to fail these puzzle battles. I do not know what would happen if I did. Let's hope I never find out. Oh, well done, Hershel. It was foolish of me to make you this so easy for you. I suppose you're free. It was surprisingly easy. Unless, of course, the information you provided me was inaccurate. What? Luke, look at the positions of these sensors. Now, flip the drawing over. What does it spell? Oh. Huh? Oh, Lie! Does this mean what I think it means? That's so petty. This map of the sensors is a lie, isn't it? We were going to walk straight into the sensors and die. You monster! Unless there weren't any sensors to begin with. What? That's it, Dimitri, isn't it? It's true you've done some evil things, but you're not a killer. You just wanted to keep us busy so you could make your escape. Okay. He didn't actually leave, though.
I should have known I wouldn't fool you, Hershel.
I've worked things out on my own this far, but I need you to help make sense of the rest. You must have had some reason for concocting a scheme this wild.
I had a very good reason.
Right, so this is... I need to hear this. The entire premise thus far reveals that Dimitri knew from the start that time travel was impossible. So what is this about saving Claire? With the wormhole and the memories taken from those goggles that Don Paolo wore? What's going on?
It all started about 10 years ago. Bill Hawks and I were friends and colleagues. We worked in the same lab researching time travel. Our research meant everything to us. We poured our hearts and souls into uncovering the secrets of space and time. After months of progress, we had built ourselves a prototype time machine. It was finally time to test our work with a human subject. Bill thought we should use Claire as the first test subject. She was our lab assistant. I, of course, vehemently opposed this idea. I loved her too, you see. And though she didn't return my feelings, I didn't want to risk her getting hurt in the experiment. Around this time, I noticed a flaw in the design of our machine. I begged Bill to postpone the experiment, but he wouldn't hear of it. Sometime after the accident, I made a startling discovery. Unbeknownst to me, Bill had made a deal to sell the technology behind the machine's power source. Apparently, a large corporation had offered him a very impressive sum. Bill knew the machine wasn't ready for a human subject, but he needed to demonstrate its viability. We all know the tragic results of his decision. By the time I realized Bill planned to go ahead with the experiment, it was too late to stop. What have you done? Because of Bill's greed, Claire was lost to me forever. Life is full of cruel twists. In the blink of an eye, I lost my life's work and the love of my life. To say I was a broken man would be an understatement. Bill, on the other hand, made a full recovery from his injuries. He also completed the deal with the corporation, pocketing more money than most people see in a lifetime. He used his newfound fortune to climb the political ladder to the very top. He killed Claire and was rewarded with the most powerful seat in government.
I can't believe the game is going so hard on this angle. I would never have expected Professor Layton to touch on themes like this, of actual political corruption. I feel like we're miles and miles away from cartoon shenaniganry with killer Ferris wheels. Wow.
If that's not a cruel joke, I don't know what it is. I can't pretend I wasn't bitter, and it was this bitterness that sent me back to my research. I thought that if I could travel to the past, I could rob Bill of all that he had won. Oh, of course, there was another reason why I wanted to go back in time, to save Claire from her fate. Surely you understand, Hershel.
So he actually does believe time travel is possible. He just made the facade of 10-year future London to trick the scientists. And Layton, I guess. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense, but... Look, as absurd as the existence of this underground catacomb city metropolis is, it's still not as absurd as the Phoenix Wright crossover game. Nope, it's still light years away from that absurdity.
Claire is no longer with us. There's nothing anyone can do to turn back time.
Do you really believe that?
I don't want to, but I do. I have just one more question for you.
What is it?
Someone's been using you as a pawn. Are you aware of this?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's a blue-wearing, behatted elephant in the room.
Someone here masterminded a scheme even more awful than yours, Dimitri. And that person is there!
I think you're mistaken, Professor.
No, there's no mistake here, and there's no hiding it anymore, Luke. Or should I call you Clive?
Clive? What do you mean, Clive? Also, is Clive a real name? Because until this moment, I thought it was made up specifically for Final Fantasy XVI, and I'm kind of freaking out.
It took some time to put together the pieces of your plan, but when I finally understood it all, the sheer evil of it sent a chill down my spine.
What is he talking about, Clive?
You kept your true intentions hidden from everyone, Clive. Even your partner, Dimitri.
What are you saying, Hershel?
Clive was aiming for revenge on a massive scale, and you were nothing more than a pawn, Dimitri.
Answers, please. What?
Tremendous work, Professor. You found me out.
Stop speaking in riddles, Layton. What's this all about?
Clive, you lived next door to the lab that exploded 10 years ago. You were just a child then.
Oh. Layton was just talking about this. When he got there, in all the details he was mentioning, he mentioned there was a child wandering about crying out for mom and dad. Clive is that child, isn't he?
That blast demolished half of the building you lived in. Reports indicate that 10 people were killed in the explosion, 2 of whom were your parents. It must have been a terrible shock. In the span of a few seconds, you lost your family and your home. When the initial shock wore off, it was replaced with anger. You became obsessed with exacting revenge on those who had wronged you. You were lucky enough to be adopted by a kindly woman in her golden years, Constance Dove.
Who?
Miss Dove's extreme kindness was matched in scale only by the enormous fortune she possessed. You two lived quite happily as a family for a time. Sadly, it wasn't to last.
Okay, on one hand, I really like that this has an explanation in that, yes, of course, Layton did all the research he possibly could have. He dedicated years of his life to examining every minute detail of the explosion and everything surrounding Claire's death, so it makes sense that he would have looked into this, the histories and futures of the, the aftermath for all the survivors of those related to the explosion. But I just kind of wish there was a bit more specific foreshadowing for, like, this Constance Dove person.
Miss Dove departed from this world 5 short years later, leaving her fortune to you. Before long, you graduated from secondary school and took a part-time job at a prominent newspaper. Considering your sizable inheritance, I don't think you took the job for pocket money. You were searching for something. Using the newspaper's resources, you finally hunted down the men responsible for your misery. You knew that both Bill Hawks and Dimitri Allen were responsible for the explosion. Armed with this information, you concocted a plan to avenge your parents. First, you befriended Dimitri and convinced him to resume his research on the time machine. Then, you used your inheritance to set up this elaborate facsimile of London. With your stage in place, you used your contacts in the press to find the best scientists in the country. After all, you would need quite a bit of help to complete this time machine. You then proceeded to lure these brilliant men into your trap. However, unbeknownst to Dimitri, most of your staff were not working on the time machine.
What?
Clive had secretly reassigned many of the scientists to a different project. You might think of it as his pet project.
We don't have all day, Layton. What was the second project?
A weapon designed to cause destruction on an unimaginable scale.
A weapon? Is this true, Clive?
A singular weapon? Then what about the tanks and the missiles?
And I thought scientists were supposed to be observant. While you focused on your machine, I had a different goal. Though some may call it revenge, I prefer to think of it as justice over single-minded scientists and corrupt politicians.
What are you saying, Clive?
Enough explanations. Let me show you.
Hey!
Oh, to the lighthouse, of course. Professor, what are we going to do? He has Flora and... Layton, look over there. Oh, where? What? Oh, come on.
Move to higher ground.
Okay, I spoke too soon. This is now dumber. Oh, it's a giant robot. God. Jesus Christ. I am so upset that I said, okay, a lot of this makes sense. It's not as bad as Ace Attorney versus Layton. Okay. Freaking. So all right. Okay. Sorry, I was just thrown so off balance by the psychic damage I have been inflicted. All right. So, like, the scientists were kidnapped like a few weeks ago, right? Because at like the Time Machine showcase, where Dimitri kidnapped Bill Hawks, and he was using a fake name to avoid suspicion from Bill, even though he wasn't wearing any disguise whatsoever and just had his regular face out. So Bill would have recognized him that way because they were friends and colleagues. Anyway, yeah. So like at that event, Layton was like reading the newspaper, reporting the mysterious disappearances of these scientists. So like, it couldn't have happened more like a month ago. And so like in a month, the scientists built this city-sized Metal Gear, and no one noticed? Okay, so no one in surface London ever noticed the enormous metropolis being constructed under them, and no one in the underground metropolis noticed this city-sized robot being constructed in 1 month's time. Not even the man who's masterminding the underground metropolis, Dimitri. This is so unbelievably stupid. You know, I was feeling generous if it wasn't for this robot, this war machine, I would have been willing to say, you know what, this was stupid, but it's not as bad as a hallucinogenic gas in a diabolical box. No, I would have given it a pass, because it was just so well thought out in many regards, and I'm willing to give stories a bit of a leeway to make, just look past a few contrivances if the result is pretty cool, and it, by and large, makes a bit of sense. Well, here it's all out the window. Okay. Professor, what is that thing? It seems as if Clive's been working on some sort of mobile fortress. Flora's trapped up there. We've got to save her. So, like, couldn't Flora have, like, not walked as Clive was pulling her? She ran along with him. She couldn't, like, have, like, become a mannequin and just fallen flat and make him have to drag her, giving the others plenty of time to catch up. And couldn't Flora have, like, leapt out of the boat while Clive had to use both hands to yank the engine because it's a motorboat? And couldn't she have, like, caused a real big scuffle on the boat to, like, knock it over? Because the dexterity needed to keep an arm on her while they were in a boat would maybe be a bit much, and she could get the advantage that way. If I'm gonna nitpick like that, we're gonna be here for the next year, so. Chapter 13, The Stronghold of Madness. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit mad right now. Yep, Hi, Chelmy. That maniac Clive has been building a war machine under London this whole time. What madness! Hi, Claire. I mean, Celeste. So this is the weapon Clive was building. Did you know about this before? No, though I suspected someone was building weapons behind Dimitri's back. But I never imagined that the product of all that research could be this atrocity. In any case, this place is dangerous. You must leave here at once. But what about you? I'm going after Flora. Are you mad? Look at that thing. You could be killed. Speaking of killed, who was Clive planning on killing? To my best understanding, he wants revenge specifically on Dimitri and Bill. Why would you need a... The only thing I could think you'd use a weapon like this for would be to... I don't know, like, annihilate entire countries? Wouldn't it be hypocritical to be that sore over the death of two people, your parents, and then want to inflict untold death and destruction upon countless millions of other people who are innocent and have no relation to what happened to you? Isn't that just a bit awkward? Okay. You know what? If Don Paolo is unimpressed and he's like, yeah, I could do better, everything will be fine. I'll forgive everything.
Isn't this usually when you like to showboat? You are planning on saving Flora, aren't you, Layton?
Of course, but how do I gain access to the fortress's interior? We could try scaling one of its legs.
Foolish boy. You'd be squashed flatter than a pancake. Listen, Layton, I did a little work on that car of yours. You can use it to get to the fortress.
What? But I thought it was just a set piece to make us believe we were in the future.
No, it works and it's waiting for you on top of the hill over there. Hurry.
Many thanks, Paul.
Don't get emotional on me, Layton. I'm only doing this for Flora.
Why would you care at all about Flora? Why would... You really hate Layton, so you'd want to make him suffer? Okay, let's get in the flying car. Don Paolo wasn't kidding. The Layton-mobile is looking great. Yep, it's fixed.
There's one thing I need to confess, Layton. This is so embarrassing.
What is it, Paul?
The truth is, your car's almost fixed, but I don't know which screw to use on this last joint here.
But the whole car could fall apart. What are we going to do?
No need to get so shrill. We can figure it out. One of these screws is sure to do the trick.
Okay, scrutinized screws. Puzzle time. Uh-oh. Only one of the 6 screws shown below, A, B, C, D, E, or F, will fit properly into the threaded hole. The width of the hole matches the thickness of all the screws, so don't worry about that. Your only tool is a flathead screwdriver. Now hurry, you don't have much time. Circle the correct screw and tap submit. Well, with a flathead, this immediately rules out B and F. I think you want a screw that matches the thingy. So we can discount E because that's too fine. The rivets, I think it's called, the rivets on it are too, the spirals, it's too dense. So I think that leaves, D and A, because C is, well, it's not really a spiral now, is it? It's more like a stack. So it's A or D. And the question is, when I put this in there, do I go with it? With the spiral as you turn it? Or against? Well, since I've narrowed it to A or D, I won't lose all my carrots. Oh, I'm so bad at analyzing these. I think it's going clockwise? And this looks counterclockwise. So do we want clockwise? I think we want the... Huh? Yeah, D. Let's try that. If not, it's A.
Let's see if I've got this right.
Ah!
Well, that's settled.
That's it. Now hurry and get the car moving. This is the one, I'm sure of it.
For once, I've got to give it to you, Layton. That's fine work you did.
So is the car ready to ride now?
You bet it is, boy. Gentlemen, your chariot awaits.
Oh, brother.
I'll go with you.
Don't worry, Celeste. We'll take care of this.
Time's running out. Don't be afraid to floor it.
Understood.
Oh, Layton! Have you gone insane?
Why would he destroy the underground city?
Hold on tight.
I guess Dimitri could have attachment to his pagoda, but I don't know. Wait, it doesn't have wings, it's just going fast? Oh, what? That's dumber than having wings.
Our first priority is finding where Clive has taken Flora.
Alright, so as critical and harsh as I'm being, I do have to give them props. It may be stupid, but they're leaning all the way into it. These cutscenes are great.
Aye, aye, Professor. But this place is huge. They could be anywhere.
First things first, let's find a way in.
Wow. We have the map of this place looks like blueprints, and that's pretty awesome. But that's a lot of rooms. We might be here a while. Huh. And I can still find hint coins. I've never seen a gun turret from this close before. Wait. Layton, is there something you want to tell me? Oh, up close it looks a bit cobbled together. This door is locked with a puzzle. I wouldn't expect anything less from Clive. It's clear we're not getting inside without doing some thinking. Swap to unlock. Sure. Oh, this seems scary. The door below is sealed shut with a mysterious lock utilizing 6 dials that can be swapped and rotated. Swapped and rotated? To open the door, arrange the dials so the gems bordering each other, both horizontally and vertically, are the same color? Tap and hold the center of the dials to move them, and tap and hold the edges to rotate them in either direction. Good luck. Arrange the dials so that gems bordering each other, both horizontally and vertically, are the same color. So, like, are we asking for yellow? Is that? I see. Well, this one's close, but, I get it. So I need to match green to green like this, but this needs to be blue. And that's red to red, so I need to find... Okay, I understand now. I understand what I need to do. It's just gonna take some serious experimenting. Aha! It was just a matter of starting from the double gem side, so... We have blue to blue, red to red, green to green, yellow to yellow, blue to blue, and green to green. So left side got solved first. And here we have red to red, blue to blue, yellow to yellow, Red to red, green to green, and blue to blue. Nice. That one was satisfying.
Let's see if I've got this right. Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
A gem of a solution. Now you can continue on. Excellent. With the puzzle solved, we're free to go in. Great, then let's head in. Ooh, more puzzles. Transport pod? It just looks like a normal lift to me. Well, you see, transport pod sounds cooler and more science-y, so that's why it was chosen, Luke. This appears to be some sort of elevator. I think we can use it to move about the fortress. But there are so many buttons, I don't have the slightest clue how to operate it. Hey, you two, step away from the transport pod? Oh, that guy. Oh no, we've been spotted. We've come here for the girl Clive kidnapped. Tell us where Flora is at once. Flora? Ah, you must mean that pretty thing the boss dragged back here. The boss? So you've been working for Clive all along? Well, yeah. Dimitri was nothing but a puppet. Clive's been our employer from day one. Oh, it all makes sense now. We threw your little friend in the ventilation room. Not that you'll be able to reach her. I wouldn't be so sure about that. What's to stop us from taking this transport pod to the ventilation room? You've even been so kind as to leave us an explanation of how to turn on the device. I did not. Oh, except for that note. No worries, though, as it's written in an uncrackable code. Try if you want, but you'll never figure out the instructions. A cryptic combo. This seems straightforward. I notice that there's a 2 right at the very top here. Does that mean anything? To open the door, you'll need to press the numerical buttons according to cryptic instructions. Open with a 2, but leave the 4. Pressing just the 2 button and leaving the 4 button untouched doesn't work. So how exactly are you supposed to open this door? Open with a 2? Can I rearrange these? No. Do I click 2 and 12? And, open with A2, leave the 4. The 4? The 4 others? Leave the 4. The 5, 8, 11, and 14 are below it. Maybe I leave those 4 untouched? Well, that would require me to touch this 4, but this feels dicey. I'm not quite sure what it means. Do I do the 2 and 12 and leave the 4 and 14? Let's use a hint coin. The door will open if you interpret the instructions correctly. There's nothing tricky going on here. You just need to approach the problem with a different mindset. Think more broadly about the phrase, open with a 2. Don't get hung up on the numbers on each individual button. Open with 2. Open with 2, leave the last 4? Open with a 2, but leave the 4. This is probably going to make a lot of sense to me once I figure it out. Open with a 2 refers to pushing the buttons that together form the shape of a number 2 when lit? What? Okay, that... What? I'm sorry, there's just so many ways to interpret this one.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
What? I didn't even draw it correctly. Great.
I must have overlooked something.
Well, let's try the picarets. Let's try the super hint and get as many picarets as we can. Press 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. 6, 9? 8? 8 and 7. And 7? That kind of 2. Okay. Now it's connected. There are 4 buttons left untouched. Alright, that makes sense.
That should do the trick.
Give me them
Few things
picarets.
satisfy like a puzzle solved.
Bingo! The trick is to light up the buttons that together form a number 2. Leave the 4 simply meant to leave 4 specific buttons untouched. There, I'm sure the door will be opening any moment now. What? Hey, stop! You guys aren't allowed to go in there! And how are you going to stop us? You're just a talking head. Come on, Professor, let's go find Flora. Let's see. The ventilation room appears to be located on the 12th floor. Don't you dare step inside there. If you do, I'll make sure you regret it. How? By yelling at us? Well, I can go in there, but honestly, I think we're best served by ending things here. If we meet up with Flora, well, there's probably going to be a big scene. At the very least, we might have to solve one more puzzle to open the way to her. One last barrier. And after that, I guess we'd go around this fortress trying to sabotage it. Goodness, I do not have an idea of how long we have left to go. I'm hoping the very next video can be the finale. And if it means having to go a bit over time, that'd be nice. But if it's 2 hours or more, I might split the next video into separate uploads, so time will tell. Time will tell, but yeah, so let's just sit here a moment and decompress. Oh. Great set piece. Absolute bullshit. Well, here at the end of all things, I'm just glad we have Pluk with us. Pluk would never betray us, right? Yeah. And you know, this deep into the game, maybe I can take solace in the fact that, my god, they are sticking to the bit, aren't they? I think Beasley is actually dead. That's incredible. That's great. Now, me and my big mouth, maybe we could get a credit scene, like a post-credit stinger, if you will, of Beasley being alive. I may have just willed it into existence by uttering that out loud, but oh well, we'll see now, won't we? Yeah, okay, Clive, yeah, okay, we got Clive. He took off his hat, but didn't exactly take off any other features or anything to remove his persona, so I guess Clive just really does look like Luke. I mean, I would almost wonder, maybe Clive and Luke are brothers? And Luke was adopted after the accident and being so young? Like, Luke is a little kid. Luke is a very little kid. If he got orphaned after that explosion, maybe Luke was raised by someone else, and Luke and Clive were actually brothers? That's so stupid. I wouldn't put it past this game, but if they do that, I'll say I'll call it. I don't know. I don't know. I just nonsense, but enjoyable, very, very enjoyable nonsense. Let me be very clear. With the ending of Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton, I was upset. I was furious. I was not having a good time. With this, though, it's just as bullcrap, but I'm still having a lot of fun. Maybe I've just become acclimated to this bullcrap. Maybe it's just pulled off so sincerely I can't help but be like, ah, you scamp. I don't know. Well, I'm Zephyr the Jester. There's been more of Professor Layton and the Unwound Future. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time for the finale? ? Until then, please take care.